You have to have some way to protect yourself. You can't just plan on this system being there for you, and especially in the case of a natural disaster.
Yeah.
You know, I just was furious when I was hearing that you were being labeled in that way and that they were ruining your business. I'm like, that just doesn't make any sense. It's a valuable thing to learn. It's a valuable thing. You can choose not to incorporate it into your life. You can choose to. But the idea that someone teaching something I mean, is that going to be the case with everything? Is that the case with jiu-jitsu? Like you know how to fight, so you're dangerous and we don't want dangerous people. Is that what it is? I mean, at what point in time do you decide that preparedness and being someone who plans out for the worst case scenario is a bad thing?
I think you remember back in the day. I grew up in ninjitsu. I took ninjitsu back in the day. Was it Stephen Hayes?
Yeah, I remember that dude. He was always on the cover of Black Belt magazine, throwing stars and shit.
Yeah, was it American Ninja? Or was it White Ninja?
There was a bunch of movies. There was American Ninja movies, and there was this one guy who was like the most famous ninjitsu guy. But if you ever watch that guy like move around, he didn't know jack shit. He was helpless.
It was crazy, man. My first experiences in ninjitsu were kind of funny because all my instructors outside of Fort Bragg, North Carolina, I was in Spring Lake at the time, they were Green Berets. So imagine a whole bunch of Green Berets. They're studying the art of the time, which is ninjitsu. It's like the dark art. What year was
this?
This is early 90s. Early 90s.
So this is like before UFC.
Before UFC, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which opened up everybody's eyes. Like, oh, shit.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my mom, we were broke as shit, man. My mom we were very poor at the time. And she couldn't afford a lot, but she was like, you know, I took Taekwondo like every Korean kid in Fayetteville. And was like, this is lame. I want to do something a little bit more aggressive. Is there something like a dark art or something?
A dark art.
there wasn't BJJ. I wanted to practice katana fighting with wood katanas. And a ninjitsu studio opened up in Spring Lake. And I go in there, and one of the first classes that I had, there was mirrors in the dojo. And the instructor comes in and he goes, Mike, I want you to stand in that mirror. And I stood in the mirror and I'm looking at myself and just like staring at myself. And my mom's kind of looking and she takes off. She's like, I'll be back in an hour. She comes back and I'm looking at the mirror thinking in my mind, oh, this is just part of the thing. You know, we're going to do some meditation, like whatever. Like we're just going to do this and then get to work. He leaves us there for an hour.
Staring in the mirror.
Staring in the fucking mirror. And my mom comes back and she like looks at me and I could see her out of the corner of my eye. And I leave with her, and she's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I pay good money for this.
And you stared in the mirror. And you stand
in the mirror for an hour. What is going on? I don't know if it was like a tactic or whatever it was, but I actually learned a lot about myself in those many instances. I don't know if that's practical, but, you know, for a kid who had, you know, probably ADD at the time, having to stand still for an hour and stare at myself for an hour, you figure your shit out really fast. You figure your happy place. You become more disciplined. And
that's hilarious that it actually worked.
Yeah, it actually worked.
Because there's a lot of those guys that existed before the UFC that were just frauds. There was a shit ton of them, and they would start their own schools, and they would teach people, and they literally didn't know how to fight. They were
making shit up.
They were making shit up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. My friend Eddie Bravo went to a place like that. He started off at a place that was just making shit up. And his instructor pretended that he was going off to China to train. And then Eddie saw him in the parking lot at a fucking supermarket. Like he saw his car. He's like, I thought he was in China.
Of course.
He goes and the guy's in there. It's like he's just a bullshit artist.
Yeah, those days, nobody had it figured out. Nobody had it mapped.
Yeah.
And whatever the master said in the dojo was gospel. And it was held in high esteem.
Yeah.
Anything this dude said, I would have bought into it.
Do you ever go to fakeblackbelt.com or McDojo Life on Instagram?
They're funny as shit, man.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
There's so many fake martial artists still out there.
They're still doing it.
It's amazing that they still exist. And then the weird thing is this thing they do where they like have this death touch on people and the people just all fall down.
Dude.
Because it seems like these people really do believe that they've been touched by some crazy chi energy and they fall and they can't move their body. There's a lot of them. There's like hundreds of these videos. It's like, what is that sort of mass psychosis? What is this, like hypnosis? Like, what is it about that death touch thing that it's so prevalent?
Yeah, it's like what do they call it? It's like survival surrender is a term in survival psychology, where you submit and you just give up. It's like a primal instinct in us to have like a mechanism to kind of give up when there is a last ditch effort and we just kind of pass out. It's like whatever that mechanism is. Same thing happens in church, like with people speaking in tongues and they touch. My mom was going through some shit when I was a teenager. And we used to go to different churches all the time because she was like experimenting and figuring out her shit. And we wound up going to a tent one time.
And like a Pentecostal?
Yeah, dude. It was
snakes?
They had all the shit.
They had snakes?
They had every fucking thing. It was I looked at my mom and was like, what is going on? Like, why are we here? And they brought up my cousin and I in front of everybody. And this dude tried to do the thing on our heads. And my cousin fell. And I'm like, oh my God, like he's been touched by God or something. He touches, I'm thinking he's going to shock me and I'm going to be laying next to my cousin.
Right.
And he pushes on my head and I don't feel anything. And I'm waiting for it because I'm thinking like my cousin just dropped. I trust my cousin.
How old are you at the time?
I'm like 15. And he hits me and I'm like, nothing happened. I look at my cousin and he opens his eyes and he's like looking at me and kind of smirks and I'm like, oh fuck. So he hits me and I fall next to him and we're laying at each other, like looking at each other, smiling. I'm like, dude, what the fuck just happened? And my mom, after that, she's like, I'm sorry guys. I didn't know it was legit. She was trying to go through. And
so you just had to lay down. You had to pretend.
We had to pretend.
Oh my God.
I think a lot of it is that peer pressure. You just.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you don't do it, you're the guy who doesn't do it when everybody's doing it.
Well, I mean, I can say as a kid that started out in martial arts as a young teenager, when you go there, your instructor has this power over you that's beyond, like, they're not just a mentor. They literally are a master, and they're the ones that are going to teach you martial arts. And you know, I was a pretty disrespectful kid, but when I was in martial arts, everything was yes sir, no sir, and you know, I had like great reverence for the dojang. Like I didn't treat it in any way like with disrespect.